Welcome everyone to the first round of the Chennai Grand Masters 2023. We have the two Telugu boys facing off against each other. Arjun Erigaisi with the black pieces from Telangana and Harikrishna with the white pieces from Andhra Pradesh. They are playing at the Chennai Grand Masters, India's strongest ever super tournament, and D4 by Hari. And now Arjun plays knight to f6. This is the first time that a classical super tournament with a rating average of about 2700 has been organized in the country. And it's very important for Arjun to start off well because that could lead him to the top of the leaderboard at the FIDE circuit. Now e6 played. What is Harikrishna going to respond with? He goes knight to c3, inviting Arjun to go for the Nimzo Indian with bishop b4, but Arjun declines it with queen's gambit declined. He plays d5. Now, normal move is to take or bishop g5, and Harikrishna goes with bishop to g5, pinning the knight here, and Arjun Erigaisi now can go very solid with bishop e7. There's also c6, there is knight bd7, many interesting moves. He takes on c4. Wow, that is interesting because now we are somehow in queen's gambit accepted territory, or you can say the Vienna, but with the bishop on g5, and Hari plays his pawn to e3. So a logical way to continue is c5, and that's exactly what Arjun does. He strikes in the center with the move c5. Now Hari now can take on c4 and play with an isolated pawn, but he takes the pawn on c5. And what is very interesting is that this is maybe not the most accurate move, but Harikrishna understands the kind of positions he likes. He likes positions where there are no queens. He also knows that Arjun is a very sharp player, and so this queenless middle game, even though it might be very comfortable for Arjun, is still a very good choice. That's what Hari felt. Well, we'll have to see if that turns out to be true, because the queen has been taken and Harikrishna takes a few seconds to decide whether to take with the king, knight or the rook. He takes with the rook. And now with this bishop here and the rook looking here, of course you have to be careful not to move your knight on f6, but yes, Arjun simply chops off the pawn on c5, and I believe Harikrishna is also going to do that. He also takes the pawn on c4. I like how Harikrishna makes his moves. It's almost as if he's making his moves in slow motion. a6, a very important move because both the bishop and the knight could jump to the b5 square, and now they cannot do it anymore. Knight comes to e2. I'm a bit surprised with this decision by Hari not putting his knight on f3 but rather on e2, but it looks good over there. Knight to d7 played by Arjun, and bishop comes back to d3. If you see, black is next going to play b5 and bishop b7, and each of his minor pieces would be fantastically positioned. So white clearly has got nothing out of the opening. b5 played. Nice move there by Arjun, and we have to see if Arjun can put pressure on Harikrishna after getting such a nice position out of the opening. Knight e4. Hari is trying to trade off a few pieces, and I think the knight has to be taken. Oh, first he gives a check. Interesting. That's a check, and now the king either has to move or you need to block. So he blocks it with the other knight going to c3. And let's see what happens next now, because there is some pressure in the center. Arjun simplifies it by taking, and now Harikrishna will also chop it off. He takes the knight on e4, and now the rook is hanging, and it's very important to decide where to go. He goes rook a7, which is a nice move because rook b8, there could have been bishop f4 ideas hitting the rook. So now with rook a7, Arjun is basically saying to Hari that I have a threat of spoiling your structure. I can also push your bishop away with f6. So Hari castles. Now very important to take here, because take will spoil the structure. But look at what he does. He plays f6. Now this is not a good idea. Why? Because after bishop f4 that Hari is going to play. Yes. Now if you take on c3, I don't have to recapture and spoil my structure, but I have rook c1, and you don't have rook c7 because my bishop controls this. So Arjun takes it, and he's expecting Harikrishna to take on c3, but you can see Hari stops in his tracks. He's seen it that he doesn't need to recapture directly. This is a very, very important moment, and he plays rook c1. What is Arjun's reaction there? He seems a bit unperturbed, but this is a big changing moment in the game. e5 played by Arjun. Now if Hari moves his bishop away, then rook c7 defends, and there is no threat here, and black is back in the game with a good position. But of course Harikrishna takes on c3 and now attacks the bishop on c8. Arjun moves his king up. The position has become very dangerous for Arjun. The reason for that is that firstly white has the bishop pair and Hari moves his bishop away. Secondly, more active pieces, and thirdly, very importantly, f4 is coming up to open up the position, and that is exactly what Hari does. He plays f4 to open up the position. Fantastic move there. E takes f4, and I believe Harikrishna is going to take it back with the pawn, and he does it. He takes back with the pawn, threatening bishop f2 on this diagonal. King f7, very nice move by Arjun. If you now play bishop f2, he wants to go rook e7, coming out of the pin and hitting the bishop. So rook c1 was played, attacking the bishop there, and again rook e7 found there. Arjun very tricky as a defender. It's very, very tough to beat him from such positions. He first attacks the bishop on e4, and Hari plays rook c7, pinning the rook on the 7th rank. Arjun brings his rook into the game, and now one way is to sort of move it. What? Like Bobby Fischer did against Boris Spassky. This is exactly what Hari has done by snatching the pawn on h7 and trapping his own bishop. Look at this. The bishop is trapped, but Harikrishna knows that black's position is also very, very weak. King g7, he's going after the bishop, but now you can take. So he takes here, and now rook takes, and you can take the knight, but you can also play bishop h4, putting pressure here. So many options there for Harikrishna. Let's see rook e7, bishop h4 looks very interesting. Also possible to take the pawn on g6 could be an idea. He takes on b6, and his point is if you take here, he will take this pawn on f6. That's what Hari wants to do. But Arjun finds an excellent defensive move, rook e6. What a move. His point is that, Hari does not take it, he goes rook b8, but his point was if you took here, this opposite colored bishop, according to Arjun, was holdable. And now Hari takes this. So we still have the rooks on the board, but we do have opposite colored bishops and 2 extra pawns for white. Will Harikrishna manage to convert this, or will the slippery as an eel Arjun escape here as well? Bishop e1 played, he's bringing his king in. Very active play. This is what he's angling for. Bishop c3 played by Hari. Nice move. And the point is now Arjun takes the pawn. If you were to take this, then it's already a draw after check, and it's sort of a perpetual here. So that's the reason why he goes king f2, brings his king and limits the black king there. f5 played by Arjun. And now what is Harikrishna going to do? He goes a3. Very calm move and also a waiting move. He's trying to get Arjun's king in the center. Very important move here. Now the point is that Hari now goes a4, and his logic is that if the king was here and after ba he gives a check, the king could go back to g5, but with the king on e4 it will be much worse placed. So now rook c5 played by Arjun, keeping the b5 pawn, and Hari goes a5, fixing the a6 weakness with an extra pawn. Of course Harikrishna has winning chances, but I like Arjun's next move. He's opening up the bishop here. Rook b6 played, And now rook to c4 by Arjun. h4, Hari, let's go. Hari the h pawn. He's pushing his h pawn. b4, Arjun wants counterplay. You know, that's the reason why he plays b4, bishop d2. Of course, trading the rooks would not have been a good idea, and that's why he goes here. King comes back to f5 and h5 push. So Hari is getting his h pawn moving in a hurry. Rook c2, he's pinned it here. And an important move, king e2. Very big understanding shown by Hari to put his king on e2, not on e1, because later on the king on e1 would have been checked on the last rank. h6 played. Slowly and steadily Hari is converting this. Bishop g4 check. But now you can go king to e1. This is okay now. This is clearly fine. Rook takes b2 played by Arjun, and can Harikrishna find this excellent move g3 to pin the pawn and win it? Yes, he finds it. Wow, this is amazing play. Harikrishna has played at least 5, 6, 7 accurate moves here, putting Arjun in big trouble. Now take with the bishop. That would be a very strong move, but he takes with the pawn. This is very surprising decision by Hari. Although he still keeps his advantage, it's a question why he didn't take it with the bishop. King g4. Moving ahead with the king. Now the only chance that Arjun has here is if he manages to create some kind of an attack with 3 of his pieces, because he's already 2 pawns down. He goes king f3. You will see that he's pushing here. King d1 played. Nice move, trying to not get into any kind of a mating net there. And now bishop d3. Arjun is moving closer and closer with his pieces. And Hari goes bishop d2. Nice move there. Of course, if you exchange rooks now, that's completely lost, as you would have 2 passers. So he gives a check. And very important not to take the rook, because if you take the rook, it's a draw. So bishop c1. Very good move, hoping that black would take and give white a passed pawn. Arjun now goes bishop e4. He keeps his bishop there. But it was not so easy, because a6 pawn is now lost after bishop e4, and Harikrishna simply takes it. He's waiting a bit. He's not so sure. He doesn't want to fall into any traps. He takes here. And Arjun now 3 pawns down. He goes rook b5. Very interesting move. It's still not so easy, because none of the pawns are moving ahead. The bishop is doing a phenomenal job on e4, stopping all the pawns, but this is a mistake by Hari. He had to play f5 to connect his bishop to this pawn, but he goes rook a7, and now Arjun needs to find the only defensive move to swing the rook over. He does it. He puts his rook on h5, attacking here. Harikrishna is now losing the h6 pawn. f5 is somehow can protect it. Let's see if Hari plays it. He's moving his f pawn. He plays it, but there's a simple move. Check. King's up, king comes up, blocks it, and you can take it, and it's a draw. Will Arjun find it? No, he doesn't find it. What a blunder by Arjun. The final mistake, and the game is now heading towards a draw, a win for Hari. It was a draw with rook h1 and bishop g5. Fantastic move, because you want to move the bishop away, the rook away from the f file, then move your rook and push the pawn. So check by Arjun. But now it's very, very straightforward, because now you just move your rook away and push your pawn. That's how it will work. Bishop g6 played here by Arjun, stopping rook f7 check. He's trying his best to stop this so that a7 doesn't come. But Hari is now going in the other direction. He wants to go rook f8, a7, a8 check. So Arjun comes back with his king here on g5 to at least mask those checks. Bishop e3 played. Look at this bishop. So beautiful. So elegant. Just amazing. It's on e3. Rook e6 played by Arjun. And now Harikrishna moves his rook away. Very nice move. If you are taking this, I can just push a7 and a8 queen. But he goes king f3. And now Hari pushes his pawn to a7. He's making a queen there. Everything cannot be stopped here. White has too many threats, too many pawns. Bishop e4. One idea, of course, is to now push the other pawn to h7. Even a8 queen is winning. There are many ways to win, and what a big victory this would be for Harikrishna. With this win, very likely that he crosses 2700 once again in the live ratings. Hari is having his hand on his head. He's just thinking if this is what he wants to do. Yes, pushes his pawn on h7. And now if you take on h7, then a8 queen works. So he plays rook c6, still hoping for some tricks that could work. But Hari is just too strong to fall into such tactics. And now Arjun goes check to the king. Harikrishna knows that this is all over. He knows he needs to make a couple of more accurate moves, and that should seal the game in his favor. He goes king b3. And now what is Arjun going to play? Because h8 queen is coming up. He can't stop it. He tries to use his rook to stop that. But hey, that's not going to work, is it? You can just make a queen there and then it's all over. And Hari, like a true professional, takes his time, just making sure that everything is well set for him to play. Yes, he makes a queen, and now the end result is if you take with the rook, I take here, and Arjun resigns because he would be a rook down. And Harikrishna scores a very important win in this tournament in the first round itself, showing to everyone that he's here for a big fight. And what I really like about Arjun, as always, that he is just so calm and collected, and like a good sportsman, he is analyzing the game even after losing it, trying to understand from Harikrishna what could he have done better or what were the mistakes. And this is something that, and you can see Arjun talking, he should have taken on c3 before, not allowing this rook c1 resource. But yeah, a game of misses for Arjun, but fantastic endgame play by Harikrishna, showing once again to the world why he's considered one of the best in the final phase of the game.